Our next question comes from Ann Cowan, representing Manhattan Alliance for Peace and Justice.
Thank you. My name is Ann Cowan. I've been a resident of Manhattan since 1970 and worked as a physical therapist until my retirement. I've also worked extensively with the Manhattan Alliance for Peace and Justice, which is an organization of 650 members. We have continually worked on various healthcare issues. MAPJ's most recent interaction with the commission was to improve the transparency of the county commission. Right now, the Riley County Commission is also the Board of Health. It oversees the Riley County Department of Health. So you, as members of the commission, have the ability and the responsibility to make a difference. My concern is how we are working to control the COVID virus in Manhattan and Riley County. And if you are sending a strong enough message to our residents. To me, it seems a little hit and miss what I get in the paper. Seems like we have some suggestions, but I do not see the suggestions being enforced in any way. I am certainly a person at risk at the age of 83, but also due to my scleroderma autoimmune disease with some compromise to my lungs. I wear a mask faithfully and self-sanitize after being out. I have been very careful to stay out of harm's way, but I know that I am at more risk when those others in the community are not careful. It is the community spread that I am worried about. I would like to know what each of you would do to help Riley County stay as safe as possible, and if you would support mandatory mask wearing in public.
Mr. McKinley.
I support the existing rules that require a mask in Manhattan, but not in the county. I believe the low number of cases in the county doesn't not justify a mask order there. On a personal level, I do wear a mask when I'm out in public areas, or in stores and such. When any place I'm going where there's not social distancing possible. Some businesses in the county do require them, some don't, but I do wear them myself in the county. I think it is necessary in Manhattan. It's, even with the mask order, the spread has, once the students came back, and I was concerned about that. You know, I think everyone kind of expected that. And actually, I've tried to stay out of Manhattan more for these first few weeks of the semester till things get settled down. Like I say, I do wear a mask, but I don't see a requirement for a mask in the county areas.
Ms. Fang.
First, I'd like to thank Ann for your service to this community and MAPJ for all that you have done and continue to do for Riley County. As a small business owner and someone who cares deeply about this community, yes, I would support mandatory public use of face masks as a preventive measure for COVID-19. It is something that I have been calling for since well before this campaign, but that's just the start. What I believe is needed more generally is an evidence-based approach to responding to COVID. Health experts say the evidence is clear that masks can prevent the spread and that the more people wearing masks, the better. We must do everything we can to stop a pandemic that has killed almost 200,000 people in this country, including 8 here in Riley County. Other evidence-based approaches could include a data-driven phased reopening plan and distribution of masks or PPE for those who do not have access to that. If we do not control the pandemic, our local economy will not recover, our schools cannot safely return in-person schooling, and we cannot attract new businesses and retain existing businesses or people. Having a mask mandate is the easiest solution and the most cost-effective to help us get there. Thank you.
Mr. Matta.
Okay, I basically agree with what Greg put forward. One of the things too is we didn't clarify quite a bit too when you say a public mask mandate. Even in Manhattan, if you socially distance while you're outside, you're not required to wear a mask. And I think that's the way that it should be. And in fact, I'm thinking, while I agree with Greg, I have been considering one other view on this, Geary County's kind of doing this. I haven't seen all of what they're doing. They're basically taking those outdoor requirements, putting them inside and saying that you have to wear the mask if you can't do that social distancing inside. Now, I wouldn't support any type of criminal penalties for any of that, but conceivably, I might look at a civil one, basically for that person who's being kind of obnoxious and isn't following the rules and violates someone's space. Now, a third party saying that they have an issue and to take it civilly, no. But if someone is in your face, not wearing a mask, they're violating it, I think that's something that we should look at. We should do a common sense approach. Most people are following the guidelines, but I don't think we need to get into, criminal things. And I think conceivably we could do something civil. I want to look into more what Geary's doing with that. I think it may be something. I have heard some of that from some county folks about that's one of the things they don't like is, people that don't do that distancing and don't wear a mask.
Ms. Focke.
Yes, I definitely support mandatory public using face masks as a public preventative of COVID-19. A lot of people are very confused because the city says one thing, the county says another. Then you have all the different people that say, no, you don't have to follow that. Now I can understand where there are exceptions in the county, like when people are in their homes or on the tractors or whatever, that's covered as far as not being in public. But I really think that we really need to stop the spread, especially now with all the students back. I try to encourage everybody I know. I always wear a mask because I don't want to infect anyone or get infected. And we really need to think more about each other as opposed to just me, that it's okay, for anybody to do what they want. And that's very harmful to what's going on. And 200,000 people dying in this country is a travesty. And we need to stop this and start having some common sense and having a cohesive rule for everyone. And like I said, of course, there are some exceptions, but it's just something we need to do.